Hey, welcome back to the channel. Today, more of the Pacific. This is episode 4, and IMDb lists its title names as Gloucester, Pavuvu, and Banika. So thoughts on the last episode are on the back half of there, which was Melbourne. I just edited that the other night. You all have not seen it yet. Definitely the lowest ranked episode of the season, but I had no problem with the downtime from both a narrative standpoint of letting us recoup before breaking our hearts, and for the point of morale and R&R as to throwing the boys a bone and giving them a little downtime. So with this episode having 3 titles in the name, I don't know if it's going to be different stories, like different people are relocated, or we're seeing multiple battles, multiple fronts, or if our group of people is going to go through together multiple places. Like, I don't know if this is a wham bam back into it, or the story's pretty spread out. Yeah, I have not edited that last episode yet, so if there's any information, knowledge, questions answered, things, you know, that I had in that episode, just know that me here and now, this me, does not have that information. It's getting to the point on a few shows where I'm like 1 or 2 episodes beyond what's airing, so the knowledge wave is a little behind the experience wave. Alright, as usual, we are armed with caffeine. It is in the morning, but I've got to record now because it's going to be hot as shit today, and computers, lights, you know, homie, don't play that in the heat. So no more rambling, let's get into it. Season 1, as if there were any more, of the Pacific, Episode 4, Gloucester, Pavuvu, and Banika. Here we go.
Cape Gloucester, New Britain. It was one of the most brutal physical environments the Marines would face in the entire Pacific War.
We stayed wet most of the time.
We actually saw a bulldozer go down and disappear in the mud.
I mean, physically exhausted, mentally exhausted.
The Pacific, Part 4.
Hey, guns up! Hurry! Hurry!
This feels like training.
Because you just killed 2 of your best friends, while Tojo and Fuckface over there continue to hose our line.
Tojo and Fuckface.
Make a school circle.
Way too many people are in tune. If you've ever been around groups of people trying to sing, there's a few that should be way out there.
Dear Vera, Merry Christmas to you. I hope this holiday finds you well, and I hope you had some snow for Christmas.
Fake artillery, like decoys.
There were no Japs on Guadalcanal the first day. We all know how well that went.
Hey, Leckie. Oh, and don't think that because you're machine guns and mortars, you're gonna get to skip these patrols. Colonel wants everyone to grab a rifle and lend a hand. You understand?
Thompson, what is up? I mean, we're getting the thick vegetation that they talked about, but not the wet season or all the mud yet. Seems pretty alright. That's usually when gunfire erupts out of the tree line and people explode.
You hold back. Bring up the rear.
Tail end, son of a bitch.
I don't know, would you be more afraid kind of being a straggler on the back getting picked off, or being the person out in front? He's so sure he should call out or shoot up a few, right? Like in the air.
Hey, good work nailing those Japs.
Yeah, a lot less personal, that engagement, than when he shot the kid, or the dude, in the first episode. I see you, Snake. CGI Snake.
Want some of this? It's basically soup.
Smoking lamps out.
As if we could smoke underwater.
Smoking lamps out!
Yeah, you might as well just lay up against a tree with a bag on your head just to divert shit off of your face and just let everything else soak out. They're dug in, and that sucks, being in the rain filling up. But imagine being on patrol out in this shit.
Go to the intelligence tent! If we get overrun, burn it!
Whether it's a sledgehammer and a hard drive or a grenade and paperwork, there's always going to be a way to conceal intel. Guns are cooking. Look at that. Yeah, when the lightning is gone, it is pitch black. There are no contours, no outlines, no depth, no color. That's wild that Leckie was standing there in the tent with the grenade, like a dead man switch. Not like a gun out, not defend yourself, but just stand there and if they come in, you know?
It was a bonsai suicide attack for the rest of these guys.
Yeah, I thought I heard him yell bonsai. It was their charge, but I wasn't sure. I didn't want to sound insensitive by mentioning it.
Running like hell to Rabal. 100 against 1,200. They're either incredibly brave or incredibly stupid. Or just really fucking hate us.
Usually it's like success determines if a plan was stupid or genius, you know, no matter how crazy it is. If it works, then it was, you know, it's just funny that we get to decide when a last stand or a suicidal effort is heroic or, you know, just great. Grenade! Grenade, get the fuck back. A Luger? Oh. Oh, we're doing this. I mean, I want to say it looks like he enjoyed it or was some catharsis, but that wasn't combat. That wasn't defending yourself. Like you just choked a man to death. You know, that's very, very personal.
I'd give you just about anything for this.
I don't even want you touching it. Now our enemy is the jungle itself.
I need it to store battalion papers. What about the pistol? Using that for a battalion paperweight, sir?
Coffee is the one goddamn thing we got to enjoy around here. We just want to enjoy it in peace. So we either kill Larkin or shut the fuck up.
You normally don't hear about fragging and friendly fire until like Vietnam era, but it happened all throughout history.
There's something missing from my tent.
Oh.
Just to be clear, sir, if it did exist, rightfully belonged to me anyway.
Enjoy your time in the galley, Private.
Change the pace might do me some good, sir.
Yeah, being clever doesn't work against a statute. No.
It appears you've pissed yourself. What fucking kind of Marine pisses himself?
Is he sick, or did he really do that, or?
Sounds like aneurysис.
Was there anything you'd give me for it, Doc?
Sorry, Lucky, no magic pill. Stay dry.
He just had to get those wet fucking clothes off of him. He did not want to die in those wet fucking clothes. Here we go.
Okay. After the sweats, the chills feel so good.
Vera, it finally stopped raining, only making the smell of rotten coconuts worse.
Oh, buddy.
You feeling better, Conley?
Swell.
Just went from malaria, shakes, and chills to swell.
I see your aneurysис is acting up.
Or he's faking it. He's just...
Hey, I got good news. They got a hospital over on Banika. Hop, skip, and a jump from here. I'm gonna pull some paper and you'll be on your way in and out.
Little lip quiver and eyebrow raised. I guess that's a yes.
What do you want me to do with this?
You scared the living shit out of Rudiger. Probably put in for a Purple Heart.
Oh, so he didn't steal the box out of the dude's tent. The pistol disappeared that the dude said was never there. That's what he was saying. Okay, it just clicked. That's why he had it. I'm sorry, guys.
It's the Navy. I'll talk to a specialist about your urine problem. Until then, it's okay if Rudiger wakes you up every hour or two during the night? Give you a chance to get to the head and stay dry? Sure.
I wonder if he's thinking about Vera back home or the Australian chick that he was seeing for a little while. Or maybe he's just really into this girl now. His heart seems to be wherever he is at the time. What's his?
Don't mind Captain Midnight. He does that most nights.
Oh, you know, a lot of guys will say just about anything to get a couple of weeks of clean sheets, burgers, and a pause that refreshes.
Fuck you.
Sir? Fuck you, sir, maybe? A little,
What about Captain Midnight? Is he faking?
Who?
Guy paces around all night flying his plane.
I'd say he's just exhausted.
they got flies on their arms, flies on their face, like, so many shots, there are just flies on them.
Okay, Doc. What's next? You wanna know how old I was when my mom took me off her tit?
Feels like a
that's the type of shit you
doctor
get
slash
straight to
chaplain kind of role is what he's playing right now.
I'm in your loony bin. They murdered Sleep.
Fucking shit! Jonas! Go get Dr. Grant!
Gibson. Hey. It's me.
That was the guy who choked out the Japanese dude in the mud, right?
Hey, Leckie.
He looked like he was like having some problems with what was going on.
Your buddy wanted to get off Pavuvu and go home.
There's nothing crazy about that.
He attempted to steal a plane to do it. I'm fortunate, aren't I? This is as bad as my war gets.
At least he's aware of it, you know? He's not parading around. It's like when you're serving forward deployment versus being in the fleet versus being like in battalion. It's layers of comfort.
People see places like Banika on newsreels, and they think this is what the war is really like.
I don't know what the war's like.
Sure you do. You see it in every guy who comes through here. Nothing against all of you, but I want to get back to my guys before they get sent on without me. That's not some crazy thought, is it?
I mean, out of everyone we've seen here, he does seem to have it the most together.
Listen, if you're not above taking a bribe, that Jap pistol I brought, you can have it. I'm rested, I'm fit. I want to return to my unit and my friends. I want to give you these before I take off.
I can't think of it, but Gib right now looks like an actor, but I can't place it.
Why'd you do that?
I mean, obviously he's an actor, but I shut up.
Want to get back to the guys before they ship off without me?
I don't think they'll send me back. There was this guy. He was tucked in behind me. His lips on my back as he prayed to God to keep him alive. Thanks for the smokes.
Dude acted his ass off, and it was shot with them looking each other through the bars, like their own prisons that they're in. Yeah, the energy it takes to play broken or frantic, you know, constantly, and the amount of takes and shots and over the shoulders and back and forths in a scene, like, it is completely draining, some of these things that they're doing, even though it's not a combat scene, even though it's two guys in a room talking through a gate. Good episode. That has to be it, right? Okay. Yeah, good stuff. Let's get to the outro. Okay, episode 4 of the Pacific. As Sledge trains for combat in the U.S., Leckie and the 1st Marines fight the enemy and the elements in the jungle of New Britain. Okay. It's funny they say as Sledge trains for combat. Wasn't he only in like one scene in the very beginning? Like maybe 5 minutes? and then we didn't see him anymore? So obviously the jungle, the weather, the elements, you know, took a prominent role in this episode with beating down morale, with just keeping everyone, their mind, their hope, their frustrations just completely all over the place. We saw that one dude who, you know, took off his clothes and then, you know, shot himself in the head. I don't know how frequent it is throughout history where it's just so bad where people kill themselves, but I know in some movies I've seen stuff like that where somebody will just like walk off into the water and let the waves take them. They're just done with it or whatever. Yeah, I'm thinking that thing, that medical thing that Leckie had, was that something where, well, only because the guy said stay dry and it'll go away. Like, is it being constantly wet, you wet yourself? Is that kind of like, you know, dipping the finger in the hot water, you know, cup of water trick? Is that kind of a thing where if you're constantly wet, you just wet yourself? Because I've never heard of that, but it kind of makes sense in the context that they presented it. And I initially thought maybe he was faking it to get off the island, but apparently not. But you know, the doctor said that people will do just about anything for a week or two off. So obviously, I mean, I knew people in the military who would like be light duty or like be hurt and couldn't PT, but then on the weekends we're skydiving and doing bullshit. So the sandbagging, the whining, the, you know, what some people do to get through it. But okay, well, this does it for me for now. I wouldn't say that this was a fun episode, but it was definitely, you know, pivoting back towards combat, towards the war, and you know, a lot more action than the previous episode. But this will do it for me for now. Thank you so much for being here. I'm looking forward to the next one, and I hope to see you soon enough. Thanks again, and goodbye.